So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the different time zone of the world. We extend a very hearty welcome to each one of you for yet another very powerful program. Today is the 10th weekend when we are going to talk about the relevance of Buddha's teachings in today's education system. From world over, we extend a very hearty welcome to all our brothers and sisters, those are joining for this particular program. Like other weekends, today on Saturday morning, 9:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time, we extend a very hearty welcome to all of you, those who have joined us. I have yet to learn why people feel like coming more on the Facebook and watch party, and they feel shy to log in directly in the webinar. Well, we all are students. We will remain student. We will keep learning from each other. So don't feel shy. Come in the webinar, log in, give your identity, and we want that you should be a part of this entire process. At the same time, should you wish to come on the Facebook, open Dr. Gulshan Sharma's page, open your watch party, because from the world over people join in that. So while extending a very hearty welcome from the different continents, from the different countries, from the world over, in the different time zones, we hope that you are taking care of yourself, your family, your friends, your neighbors, your community, and everybody whosoever is directly or indirectly associated with you wherever you are. Under the dynamic and the dedicated leadership of Venerable Dr. Dhammapiya ji, the Secretary General, International Buddhist Confederation, we have got this beautiful journey. We've got a very pious journey, and we've got a wonderful journey where we all are together. And every weekend in the morning at 9:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time, we discuss with each other and we try and learn what exactly Lord Buddha conveyed, what is Buddha's philosophy, what is Buddha's teaching, and what is the relevance of Buddha's teachings in today's education system. It's indeed a great pleasure during this COVID-19. I myself had an opportunity to go through a lot of literature and to witness the complete serial which has been made on Lord Buddha, different episodes and his entire life, how basically he wanted to bind the entire humanity globally, world over, and to give his message to all of us. So ladies and gentlemen, our chamber, International Chamber for Service Industry, since 1994. You can well imagine it's a journey of 26 years, and there are 30 million non-resident Indians abroad at this point of time. Our chamber takes care of the services sector, and our chamber takes care of the non-resident Indians, those who have gone abroad, and various policies and market research, innovative strategies and consultancy, and everything is being offered. So at present, because India has announced the new education policy 2020, which has come almost after 34 years in India. So to match it, to bring it at par with the global education system, ecosystem, and in that, we are trying to find a relevance every Saturday morning of Buddha's philosophy, Buddha's teachings in today's education system. So we extend a very hearty welcome to all of you, and thanks for joining us, whatever means you have got it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, during this lockdown, we know the thought processes are affected, business is affected, physical and mental health is affected, and the most important part is in the entire universe, as per the UNESCO, 1.8 billion children are affected. Those are unable to go to school, colleges, universities, polytechnics, ITI, vocational skills, competencies, whatever we talk about. And this morning, when I was going through the latest reports of the UNESCO, I got quite disheartened, where I learned that almost 11 million girls will be a dropout after COVID-19. And during this pandemic, those are thinking to get dropped out, not to rejoin and reback the schools. So I would request all parents, I would pray to all the parents, and I would request Venerable Dr. Dhammapiya ji also that we should request the entire human ecosystem and the fraternity world over that children should not be dropped out. Children must go after the COVID gets over, after this lockdown gets over, because education is one which can bring peace, which can bring harmony, which can bring the entire globe as one family. All of us, we got to understand. It's a one world, it's a one love, it's a one family, and 500 million plus people, those are following Buddhism today. There's so much to learn from you. And at the age of 70, I want to be the most humble student. And I want that you all, as my teachers, teach me as much as you want, give me inputs as much as you want. And there should be global education, collective efforts, and this should be the confluence where all of us together make a world as a global peace and a peaceful, continent and the universe. Now, the new education policy, when we are talking about, of course, as a part of that. Now, a lot of study which our chamber has carried out world over, there's a findings which has come from the research teams. And when we synthesize that information, we learned that the next crisis and the next misunderstanding and next human clashes are going to be based on water scarcity. If we do not save water, every drop of water, there's going to be a lot of shortage of water. And some of the people, those are visiting certain countries, they say that the oil is more economical as compared to one bottle of the water, fresh water, drinkable water. So ladies and gentlemen, world over, like every evening, 7 p.m., we are having a live webinar coming, and we get 200,000 people from world over, from the different countries joining that webinar. Every evening, 7 p.m. Indian Standard Time. And if you watch on the Facebook, if you've seen the watch party, you will be surprised to know that 5 girls we bring every day, and they share their vision, they share their expertise, they come out with the innovative ideas, what is to be done on water saving world over. Now, women empowerment is very important. We all got to understand, when you educate a male member, you educate individual. When you educate female child, you educate 7 to 8 generations subsequently, because they are the one, those are going to carry this flag further. They become mother also, they become grandmother also, they become sister also. They take on, and so many relationships when we talk about. Girls have got a wonderful role to play in this entire universe. My wife, my daughter, my mother, my daughter-in-law, everybody, they play such an important role for all of us. So ladies and gentlemen, Monday to Sunday, non-stop, 7 to 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time. You can see us live on the Facebook. You can come on Dr. Gulshan Sharma's page. Give us your vision. Share your vision, because Saturday morning is totally dedicated to Buddha's philosophy, Buddha's teachings. But I'm so thankful to Venerable Dr. Dhammapiya ji. I find him every evening. He's there to give his energy, his strength, his vision, and whatever he can give to the humanity to empower the humanity. So I extend a very warm welcome to all of you. Do join us if you have time. Today evening, that is this evening, that is I'm talking about Saturday evening in India, 7 p.m. we will be talking about yoga, meditation, naturopathy, and nutrition, organic farming, organic living, organic thinking, positive thinking, and how basically you can take care of your body at this age, at this stage, while being in the company of Venerable Dr. Dhammapiya ji and all other those are following Buddhism. I feel myself so privileged and so enriched that the positive vibrations and the positive energy comes from my mind. And I want to stand in the queue right at the back as a most humble student to learn from all of you what best can be given to us. Come Sunday morning, we get Professor Satinder Dhiman all the way from the Woodbury University. He comes from the Burbank of California, United States, and he talks to us what is ancient India, what is the oldest civilization, what exactly used to happen in Nalanda University, Takshila and Vikramshila, and a couple of other things what we talk about. And now there is a torch, and there's a gorgeous torch, and there's a vision which Venerable Dr. Dhammapiya ji is carrying, and we very strongly from our chamber support his vision. Now, ladies and gentlemen, come Sunday evening, 5 p.m., India and ASEAN, all the 10 countries in ASEAN, and there's a lot of Buddhism followers, those join us at 5 p.m. Indian Standard Time. It's a different time zones at that time in the ASEAN, and we get people and experts under the presidentship of our Honorable President of the Chamber, who is based out of Thailand, and under the dynamic leadership of Dato Ramesh Kodamalji, who is the co-chairman of the ASEAN India Business Council, 5 p.m. And Northeast India, which has got a very close proximity to ASEAN, there's a lot to share and lot. 7 p.m. because a lot of people are losing jobs at this point of time. So micro, small, and the medium enterprise, when we talk about Sunday evening at 7 p.m., we get you the expertise. Should you become a startup? Do you want to become an entrepreneur? You want to start your own business? Everything when we talk about Sunday evening, 7 p.m., we discuss. Imagine what a package. We are talking about education also. We are talking about your health and wellness also. We are talking your business also. And we are talking about, in totality, the entire ecosystem, what we talk about. Every day in the morning, from morning 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., our chamber is in the service of universe. The entire globe is one family, like we made a mention to you. Should you wish any kind of a support, any school, any college, any institution, any university, any kind of a platform you have got, should you wish any kind of a support to just empower your teachers, your youth, your students, we would be more than happy to support from our chamber the best possible way, purely as a complimentary basis. That's what we share. This is Monday to Sunday, the complete program what we have got. We list out over here because we got to make education relevant in the universe. This morning, it was such a treat and such a pleasure. I spent 1 hour early in the morning when I got up, and I just watched one of the videos, 1 hour 31 minutes 18 seconds of His Holiness Dalai Lama on Nalanda, which is of 19 December 2019, when he delivered the talk. And he's talking about ancient civilization. He's talking about Pali language. He's talking about Sanskrit. He's talking about what exactly Lord Buddha gave. It was a wonderful soothing to my mind, my cerebrum, my ears. And I just witnessed that. And I have come very fresh with that. And I really enjoyed, I relished. It was much more than anything else to my soul and my spirit. 2016 onward, we are totally dedicated in a very pious way. And this was the journey, Buddhist heritage and the pilgrimage journey, where we had the international conference being organized. And thereafter, Dhammapiya ji, our International Buddhist Confederation, Secretary General, and our president, past president, immediate past president, who is based out of United States. It was a great soothing to my soul once again. He holds his second PhD in Buddhism. He dedicated and devoted 8 years of his life on Buddhism. And today he's practicing the Buddhism at the workplace spirituality, living spirituality, and what all Buddha conveyed. It's wonderful to learn. So Dhammapiya ji and Professor Satyendra Dhiman together, it was living Buddhist leadership together right from the United States. Again, 21st of June 2020, during this COVID-19, once again, both the souls, both the spirits, and both the visions, and both the minds, they came together, heart, soul, and mind together. Professor Dhiman and Venerable Dr. Dhammapiya, together they discussed, they deliberated, and that was harnessing well-being of educators through the Buddhist psychology. That was a great, which we had on the World Yoga Day. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I just flipped through so that you get an idea that already we have done this program 4th of July. We came to 11th of July. We came to 18th of July. From the world over, people are coming. Dr. Christie, I salute you all the way. And Professor V from Malaysia and others. I mean, from Sri Lanka, from Thailand, from Dubai, from other places. Anandaji, he keeps giving a call to me from Sri Lanka. I feel so happy. From Colombo, he made the call the other day. The other day, we had a lady from Australia, Singapore, and the gentleman had come from Indonesia. And then on 15th of August, India's Independence Day, we had 4 of them. And oh, early in the morning, the musical notes to my ears, all the way coming from Nepal. The chanting was done musical way. And the gentleman from Australia, All these people they have done. Then from Taiwan, I mean, say, two of the youth had also come that day. And then, of course, 22nd of August, we had from Australia, we had from Sri Lanka. I would say it was a great learning from all of them. So, ladies and gentlemen, during this pandemic, when I have gone through more and more literature, and I tried to educate myself, what was ancient Nalanda University and what was Buddha's teachings over there? I got some wonderful relevance over there. When I read this particular article, there's so much to know, so much to relish, so much to learn. What exactly was happening at that point of time? 2,000 teachers, monks, and the acharyas, they were there. ICSI appreciates the vision of Dhammapiya ji now, because this particular international global university, with the confluence of the educators, practitioners, visionaries, and the students from world over to come together. And I only wish and I pray to Almighty that all the people, those who are watching this particular program and this particular vision, when I look at this particular international, I will call it, this vision has to turn into reality. And this vision, when it turns into reality, this international Buddhist university, Dhammapiya, I mean to say, once it comes up, I requested Venerable Dhammapiya ji in a very polite way, after my PhD way back in 1987, I would like to do my DLit, and I would like to be the first DLit and a student from this university. And I wish and I pray to Almighty, this university comes up at the earliest, and all the stakeholders world over, those are watching this particular program, this is a very pious effort. This is a very dedicated and a very devotional effort. And with Dhammapiya ji, we wish to bring this particular university and we dedicate to the whole world. This morning, we extend a very, very hearty welcome. We have got distinguished guests from the world over with Venerable Dr. Dhammapiya ji, those have joined us. We have got Ling, sister. She's the president of the Buddhist Missionary Society, Malaysia. The Buddhist Missionary Society, Malaysia, is one of the oldest national Buddhist organization in Malaysia. Currently, Madam, she is the executive committee of the Malaysian Consultative Council of Buddhism and Christianity, Hinduism, Sikhism, and Taoism since 2011. The Honorable Secretary of Selangor branch since 2019. She is the president of the Malaysia Buddhist Consultative Council, chairperson of the Standing Committee of the Interfaith Dialogue World Fellowship of Buddhists. She is a lawyer by training, graduate with a LLB degree. We extend her a very hearty welcome, and I would request you, ma'am, that your vocal cords have to reach the entire world. So kindly keep your mic very near to you, because we want your voice to go to universe, the entire universe this morning. We have also been joined by Madam Nadia Ling. She's the director, Buddha Catu Parisa Foundation International, United States of America. She is joining us from there. Director of Buddha Catu Parisa Foundation International, India 2018 present. Secretary of Buddha Catu Parisa International Incorporated in Australia. She teaches Dhamma according to Tipitaka, focusing on Abhidhamma, Pitaka to the Buddhist young groups and several groups from the US, Thailand, and India. Visits Buddhist organizations in various countries to promote the Theravada tradition, to share and exchange the knowledge of Dhamma in the Tipitaka. In February 2011, she converted into Buddhism after 35 years of a long journey in Christianity. We extend her a very hearty welcome, Buddha Catu Parisa Foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, we have also been joined from Hong Kong by Mr. Raymond, senior writer, Buddhistdoor Global. Hearty welcome to you. Mr. Raymond Lam is a senior writer of Buddhistdoor Global and editor of its Buddhism in the People's Republic project. Born in Hong Kong, he reads religion and philosophy at the University of Queensland in the Brisbane and Buddhist Studies at the School of Oriental and African Studies in London. A Mahayana Buddhist layman since 2008, he became a religious journalist and began working for the Buddhistdoor organization in 2010. We extend a very, very hearty welcome to all these dignitaries. And ladies and gentlemen, I drop the curtains and I request and I extend a very warm welcome to Venerable Dr. Dhammapiya ji now to take on and start with his prayers and take on the floor today. And let me stand in the queue behind 500 million plus people and to be the most humble student. With these words, Venerable Dr. Dhammapiya ji.
A very good morning and evening, afternoon to all those people watching from different parts of the world in different time zone. As usual, to start any auspicious occasion, discussion on the teachings of the Buddha and its relevance to the world and the life today is also a very auspicious occasion. So we start with chanting. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami. Dhammang saranang gacchami. Sanghang saranang gacchami. Dudiyampi tatiyampi. Buddhang saranang gacchami. Dhammang saranang gacchami. Sanghang saranang gacchami. I heartily welcome all the panelists and speakers today, and also all the people, esteemed, respected people in the audience from all over the world. We are here to discuss and find out the relevance of the Buddha's teaching in today's world, in the life of the humanity, human beings. But whatever the Buddha has taught, it is not only for human beings. The very important terms or words we have is hitaya sukhaya deva manussanam. Whatever the Buddha has taught, whatever the teachings Buddha has given, whatever truth Buddha has unfolded, all are directed for hitaya sukhaya deva manussanam. That is, for the welfare, for the well-being, for the happiness of human and non-human alike. This is what very important thing we have to keep in mind when we discuss and talk about the teachings of the Buddha. Buddha has taught to human beings to overcome different kinds of challenges that human beings are facing, or they were facing. Also to elevate themselves to the level where they can live peacefully and happily, and also maintaining the well-being. At the same time, Buddha also emphasized the non-human aspect of the universe, the universe or the world is inhabited not only by human beings, but also some other beings. The term Deva, actually, it refers to some other beings who are non-human, maybe a higher plane of existence or the world they dwell. But it includes also all non-human beings. We have the nature, we have animals, we have so many other living beings. So we have to, as human beings, take care of the other living beings as ourselves. How we take care of ourselves for our well-being, for our welfare, for our benefit, for our happiness, we have to treat other living beings in the same way. There, the auspiciousness, the Buddha was asked not by human being, as the people who are from Pali tradition might know, and also those who are scholars, they might know. The Mangala Sutra, it was in Sravasti. Sravasti is in UP now, Sravasti. When Buddha was there residing in Jetavana, one night, I would say, one Deva, non-human being came and asked the Buddha, what is the Mangala? People used to say Mangala, auspiciousness, beneficial. What is that? And you see, Buddha has given the 38 kinds of Mangala, the 38 kinds of activities or work that can contribute to the auspiciousness and development and well-being and happiness of humanity and also all other beings. And these 38 kinds of Mangala given by the Buddha on the request of a Deva. See, that means Buddha has been revered and approached by human and non-human alike. And there, of course, I am not the speaker. The Mangala that we have been told is Asivanancha Balanam, Panditanancha Sevana, Pujacha Pujaniyanam, Etang Mangalam Uttamam. There are three actually we are getting. That is to dissociate with the fools. See, Asvanancha Balanam. Fools here means within and without. All the defilements, all the kleshas, all the negativities that we have within us, to dissociate from them, that means to remove them, to subdue this kind of defilements within. And outside also we have certain negative forces to dissociate with them, to keep away from them. This is one Mangala. That means when you dissociate from the negative forces, you are protected from the influence of negative influence. This is number one. That's also Mangala. Second thing is the Pantananta Sevana. We are supposed to associate with the wise person, wise people, good people, or everything that is positive. And here positive means within and without also. Within us, we have the positive energy, positive thought, positive feeling, all the positive, good feeling, this compassion, love, moitri, all this kind of good feelings, our good intentions, they are like wise elements that we have to develop those kind of things that is within us. And also outside, we have the wise people who are elevated, who are evolved, who are enlightened, awakened. We are supposed to associate with them to get knowledge and wisdom from them for our good, for the good of others. It's also auspiciousness. And also Pujacha Pujaniyanam means we have people around us who are worthy of paying respect, paying gratitude, and also worthy of worship. So we have to regard, respect, and express or pay our gratitude to our respective people or people who are having in that position or in that stature. This is also Mangala, is how to maintain the social fabric in harmony. That's what Buddha has spoken on the request of a Deva at that time. So today, it's also an auspicious occasion that we are here to discuss different aspects of Buddha's teaching, where Buddha has spoken a specific the sutra or sutta in a specific occasion, which has specific relevance. So the teachings of the Buddha has relevance in various aspects of human existence and human experience that we can take up one by one in different webinar in different time. So today, as the first speaker, I would like to request as our in the list, Upasika Nadia Ling, Director, Buddha Catu Parisa Foundation International. It is Catu Parisa means the 4 types of followers or the disciples of the Buddha: Bhikkhu, Bhikkhuni, Upasaka, Upasika. It is the venerable monks, venerable nuns, and esteemed, respected lay Upasaka, and Upasika means laymen and lay women. They, these 4 types of followers of the Buddha are known as Catu Parisa. So, Dr. Gulshan ji was pronouncing, it's Catu, it's not Catu, it is Cha, Catu. Cha means, in Pali it's written like this with C. Actually, there's something else. Catu Parisa. So 4 kinds of people. She is the director of some very international foundation which deals with all kinds of people. There's venerable monks, venerable nuns, and the lay men and lay women. I'm very much thankful to her for upholding the teachings of the Buddha in this direction. I would request her now to please take the stage and present her views and experiences, the relevance of the teachings of the Buddha for the welfare and benefit and happiness and well-being of all. Please.
Thank you very much, Dr. Dhammapiya and Dr. Gulshan, that give me these opportunities to share my thought about the Buddha topic, which is I'm going to share some of my material, if you allow me to. Can you all see my material, right?
Yeah, it's visible, ma'am. It's visible.
Yeah, I try to move, but it doesn't allow me to.
No, it's visible.
It should be made full screen, I think.
Do you got that? Okay. Now I can make more full screen so you can see more clearly.
Yes.
Like Dr. Dhammapiya, thank you so much to introduce our Buddha Catu Parisa. Yes, we are start our projects about 6 years ago to support these 4 communities, because as some of you know that in Southeast Asia, the women still not allowed to ordain at the Bhikkhuni. So in our communities, we are start together 30 years back then that we are start to learn the Dhamma as a group of laymen and laywomen. And we have been inviting so many group of monks and learned the Tipitaka for about 35 years. And we have questions that always in our heart, why women cannot ordain. And the limitation for them to ordain as Bhikkhuni. But it happened. they're ordained anyway, because the Sri Lanka have started the projects of ordained bhikkhuni, but a lot of the women doesn't have temple, doesn't have safe place to practice. So our groups start that project so that people understand more about the reason women ordain, and to give the place, the safe place for them to learn. And within these 5 years, we have done a lot of jobs. Like we have started total of now 10 temples. So like one in Nakhon Pathom, Thailand, and one in Yasothon, Thailand. And recently we just start another 2 in the east of Thailand and one in the south of Thailand. And we have one in North Pole in Fairbanks, Alaska, and one in South Pole, Tasmania. And we have one in Sri Lanka and one in Uruguay. We just have this project about 6 months ago in Uruguay. And then we have in Sulat in Thailand. So we have total like the 8 temples. But before that, our group have been trying to help establish many temples around the world for the monks and people. But now like we are trying to still support our 4 communities, and our places focus on getting all the lay people to come back to study the Dhamma together. And it's most of the time I have equations to, like people were asking me why we have to learn the Dhamma, because it's like life is so busy already, and we have to busy learning so many things, and we have to, like right now the crisis, we have already difficulty to survive. So why we have to spend time learning? So I actually teach my kid. I have like the youth group and several groups that I teach. So the first class, I have this program called the Life Application that I teaching on Zoom, and I teaching a several group to actually make them understand about the importance of learning, which is I found this Maslow hierarchy needs is giving a good good explanations on why we have to learn, because of like it talking about the needs of our human, that we have this need by birth. The human have these 7 kind of needs by birth, this biological needs. Some of us is only stay in these needs like a whole life. Our parents, our society tell us our goal in life to make a lot of money, to have a bigger house, to have more money, and then we don't even see anything else. But in this level, we need this. And then if some people are lucky enough, they can get into having the financial freedom, they can want a next needs. They want the safety needs. Then they want to get married. They have bigger family. They want love. They want their family, bigger house, again, bigger needs. And after we have all of these needs, what we want esteem needs. We want to be famous, have people respect us. So we have all need all the times. But then the next one is called cognitive need. This is a need of learning, is the next level. And aesthetic needs is to enjoy, to breathe, because this is to make us enjoyment that we need to breathe. Like this lockdown is give a lot of people learn something about it. They are caught up with finding money, and suddenly everything shut down. They come to me and so sad, and I say, see now, they walk into their house and they have to be at home, and they see flower at home, and they say, wow, that beautiful tree. And they never see it before. They walk past through it every day, but they never actually enjoyed it until this lockdown actually make them see the world in a different angles, and they actually feel happier, some of them. But some of them who has a financial problem might be struggle, but a lot of us feel this moment of reflections is amazing and valuable. So in that case, is actually in that chart is actually teaching something more interesting about the Maslow need, because it's explained that the first 4 level is a D need, deficiency need. The more you have, the more you're not satisfied. The more you have, the more you want. You never be happy. They will get into the point like, what the point having so much power? They want more power. They're struggling to have more power. So actually, the psychology say it's a B need, it's cognitive need, it's a B need. So it's being, we are human being. We need to grow our knowledge. We need to grow our mind to understand more. So that B need is important. Aesthetic need is to stop and breathe and enjoy the world, to see the tree, to take care of the tree. That is our B need because it's the being needs it. But we are focused on this four bottom level, and then we go and put all important about it. That's why I actually put this chart before I start the class, because the people are stuck in that level and couldn't get them to see other thing in life. And then it comes the topic enlightenment. Why we have to be enlightened, and nobody will care for enlightened nowadays. But then this is like the 8th level we call transcendence. It's like the 8th level. It's something totally different than the 7, that when the human need this, because of like when needs, we couldn't see anything else, but our mind will develop into further. So I actually put this, that if we want to be success in the worldly life, we put more important on learning the cognitive need, on learning the worldly knowledge. Just like Dr. Gulshan made this ICSI program, amazing program, which I impressed, because you invite so many experts from all kind of knowledge, which will make them know more about the worldly knowledge, and people will success because they have more knowledge. And the Dhamma knowledge, that is something to balance, that Buddha talking about the middle path. We have to spend time learning about worldly so that we have everything we want. But then we have to spend time learning Dhamma so we can get to the point that we don't need anything at all. So we have to balance the worldly, and we'll start to balance our Dhamma and our mind. So when both are balanced, we will be happy. But if we just been told, the society been told that we have to get a lot of money, we have to get a lot of love, so this society getting selfish because we only think about our needs. But the more we develop our minds, that what Buddha teach about non-selves. We couldn't love anyone else because we only love ourselves. We only have our need. But when we develop the non-selves, the knowledge of to live and asking the question, why we born, why we born different, where we come from, where we're going, how we can go to a better realms. So those are important of learning, which I actually try to make people in several groups understand the importance of the learning the Dhamma. So that's because of that, the middle path to me mean we have to balance the both world until we enlighten. So the Buddha teaching the Tipitaka, which is, I found that the teaching has been scattering. We have this topic in this and that and those and many of them. And I have talked to the Indian group where I'm going to teach the student at school and try to develop the textbook. However, it's a limitation that in India is not allowed to teach like Buddha subjects, only allowed to teach like moralities or just kind of like well-being, how to live, how to behave. So it was not allowed to teach the Tipitaka, but actually I start my course with understand the 3 relevant of the Tipitaka. It's not just learning the practice. I believe that we all, the Dhamma, like Vinaya, is learning about the monk's rule. People asking me why we have to learn the monk's rules. But why the layman have to learn the monk's rule? That is the monks, not for us. But then, like as Venerable know that we will never know what is our duties or what is right to do with the monks, or what should we do or should not we do, what is appropriate, not appropriate. We will not learn the rules. And most in time, we make that system of the Buddha, like we destroy the system of Buddha because we don't know the rules. So we learn the Vinaya also, we learn the Sutta, and the importance of Abhidhamma, because Abhidhamma explains so many things about the mind system, so make us understand more and in deep and depth of the Buddha teaching. But we are trying to focus on these 3 study, and like basically practice, most of people think practice of the Buddhism mean meditation, but I always question, everything is practice. When we learn the three Tipitaka, the whole life is practice. How we can practice to continue to be a well compassion, to be a well human being. That always in Tipitaka, that we learn more, we understand the world more. That's how I believe of the practice also. And we can see that Buddha is expert in worldly. He expert in worldly subjects. When he born with 7 days, he expert in military arts, political science, law, commerce, literature, etymology, mathematics, astronomy, geography, astrology, medical science, logic, veteran science, yoga, religious, telepathy, musician, everything he know, the worldly subject he know expertly. In 7 days he completed, but he also have Dhamma in his mind, all this Tipitaka in his mind. So he have both. So that is a pattern that I believe that the full community can follow this pattern, that if we focus on cognitive learning in the worldly and in the Dhamma, that when we can get to enlighten completely. So that how we are trying to promote the study and grow our communities. So what is the enlightenment? Basically in Abhidhamma, we're talking about Chitta 121. So when we are reaching the Lokutala, it's not in one life, it's like a development of mind, understanding, the practice to that moment. A lot of us think like we're going to go now, they're scared to learn, they're scared to practice because they think I'm going to enlighten now. But I say after we learning, we know that it takes so much time, so much development. Slowly we improve our mind and system. So that's how the Abhidhamma tell us that the enlightenment means the Arahata Palachitta, the final mind of 121. And we have a lot to learn to go there. And actually, Buddha said that that is his wish, that he wished that the full community, Bhikkhu, Bhikkhuni, Ubasok, Ubasika, to accomplish, train, skill, learn, and well words of the Dhamma, train in accordance with the Dhamma correctly, train and walk the path of the Dhamma. So he basically, during the Buddha time, the four communities are expert on the Dhamma. They learn well, they practice well, and they come to enlighten in that moment, which is we hope that this will inspire all of us to commit on this learning path, and we will get there as an enlightenment together in one life. And I'll show you some of the program that we have, that every year I take a lot of kids. This is like a little boy, a little girl. They go to ordain in Thailand, and some of the mother also go to ordain, or the father go to ordain. We all four community learning together and practicing together. That is our foundation visions, that this development to give the world. I always often asking why we cannot love, or why cannot we love more. I found the answer in study the Buddhism. Like when I'm Christian, I have that question all the time. And I found one answer from learning this Dhamma, that we couldn't love because of ourself, because we have self. So we're selfish. So we are stuck with this 7 level of needs. So we only love ourselves to find our needs. The more we practice the Dhamma, the more we develop a mind of selfless. And one day when we're selfless, we could be compassion to this world, compassion to the whole society. And I wish that learning will go into everyone and understand, and everyone will develop this love together, and we can create a beautiful world together. And so thank you, Dr. Gulshan, Dr. Dhammapiya, and everyone here that give me this opportunity to share what I know and what my wish. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Upasika Sister Nadia Ling, for your presentation. There are a few aspects that you have brought up, which are very important. Catu Parisa Foundation, that is international, is supporting all the 4 communities of 4 kinds of the people, to empower them and to support also. the objective is to spread, also reach out to the people for the benefit and also understanding the essence of the teachings of the Buddha, which will help regain the lost culture, the lost value that human society has been facing for quite some time. It's very important, as we are saying, the mind aspect in Abhidhamma. As I have told in the beginning, the Buddha has given his Dhamma not only to human beings, but also non-human, that is Deva also. Deva means some non-human gods or spirits or whatever you call it, deities like that. So this Dhamma and Abhidhamma, so we have the term Dhamma and again Abhidhamma. So Dhamma means, as we normally understand, the teachings of the Buddha which relates to the universal truth, the functioning of the nature, the natural laws, the universal truth that is there. And the Abhidhamma, here you see we have prefix Abhi. Abhidhamma is a higher form of Dhamma now. It's a higher. The Dhamma can be understood by normal human beings, normal people, quite okay. But to understand Abhidhamma, the higher form of knowledge, it needs higher form of concentration, attention, and also this caliber or your catching power, something like that. So it is said the Abhidhamma is taught by the Buddha to his mother, or when he was there in Tavatimsa Deva Loka or somewhere, not on this earth. It was not taught to human beings, but it was taught to the non-human deities or devas, and it was repeated to Ananda, who was the PS or the personal secretary to Buddha. And Ananda has recorded all the teachings of Abhidhamma, the higher form of Dhamma, taught to the devas. So like we find here, the Buddha was not teacher only for human beings. He was a teacher for human and also for the devas, for the deities, or for all other living beings. We had also instances where Buddha had to teach to not only deva, but even some other form animals also. He could communicate to them in different ways. So it's important that Catu Parisa Foundation is working for the empowerment of all the four communities to support them, to preserve the teachings of the Buddha for the welfare of all. Here, you have mentioned one thing, this ordination of the lay woman as a bhikkhuni. During the time of Buddha, if you see, the Indian society at that point of time, where the society was having some social structure on the base of or we call Varna system, where we have the higher level, middle level, lower level, lowest level kind of social structure. It is called caste system, something like that. So there, the opportunity for women was also in such a state where Buddha had to work hard to bring the womanfold to the Sangha, to the order. Because when something is established and to bring a change, you need to work actually for that. It's a kind of revolution, or what do you call that? Not revolution, it's something you have to transform society, things like that. So Buddha has really given the opportunity, also permission for the women to get ordained, and also given for bhikkhuni or nun their own sets of rules, the bhikkhuni rules there. But what happened was as everybody knows, there had been ups and downs in the history of Buddhism, where the lineage, the Bhikkhuni lineage, at some point of time got discontinued because there had been many attacks on the monasteries and then the libraries and then even on the Buddhist people. It is a historical fact. So many of them had to run away to other places. All these things are a very dark aspect of this history. So in the process, Bhikkhuni order got discontinued. So now the question posed is, if the order is discontinued, whether we can revive the order. There is difference of opinion. Definitely, some are saying that we can revive it. Some are saying we need some other kind of experts, like to ordain you need four monks or 4 bhikkhuni, something like that, or more. So these are the Vinaya or the disciplinary aspect. But Buddhism in general gives opportunity, the status to women to be treated and also to be respected. It is there that only the society specific or maybe country specific, there may be some variation. Otherwise, I understand all venerable monks, nuns, upasaka, upasika, following the teachings of the Buddha, will have to treat men, women, human, non-human with respect and dignity as themselves. This is a very important thing. Okay.
Thank you.
Now, may I request Brother Raymond Lam from Hong Kong, please take over the stage and give your presentation, please.
Hi, everyone. Hope you can hear me. It's my great pleasure to spend some time with you this morning and afternoon, evening, all around the world. And I was requested to give some thoughts on short notice about this role of education in the modern world and the relevance of Buddhism in the modern world. And I think one thing that everyone is experiencing now is unquestionably this concept of impermanence. I think one thing that everyone used to think about, and this has been alluded to by Nadia, is everyone had a sense of self, of solidity, of
Mr. Raymond,
yes.
I mean, sorry for the interruption. Nadia has to close her PPT, because when she'll close her PPT, I'll be able to get you on the main screen.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah.
No, I want to get you on the main screen because I'm finding it difficult to get you on the main screen as a speaker. I want to get you on the main screen. She has to close her presentation. No, it is not closed. It's not closed. The screen is still there.
Is it okay now?
I'm just.
Okay.
I think it's fine now.
The speaker.
Yeah, it is fine. It is fine, I think, Dr. Gulshanji.
Okay.
Because she has closed.
Yeah. Anyway, I think part of this whole disruption and turmoil, I think, that everyone is experiencing, comes from the fact that this tiny virus, which didn't, we can't see it. We can. It's a microscopic thing, and yet it has disrupted so many aspects of our lives, from the economy and from the to our very how we educate our kids and how we're living our domestic lives and how we socialize. So this whole disruption really gives a new idea to the gives a new weight to the idea of impermanence, and it's something that I think we're going to have to live with for a long time to come. So what does this mean for the educator? What does this mean for the mentor figure? What does this mean for the teacher, or the school principal, or the university professor? As many of you would know, you yourself have had experiences, which Nadia has alluded to about her own teaching, going on Zoom, going on online programs to give entire courses, give entire lectures in online form. So what does this mean when you incorporate a Buddhist perspective on it? So I think we're talking about the need to completely re-envision what an education means. So prior to 2020, what were people talking about in education? I think, now of course, to be fair, these haven't lost their importance, but you're certainly having to think of new priorities as to what education means. STEM education, high grades, high performance, good qualifications that will get you into a good university. Now, these are all important, and I certainly would want that for everyone, and everyone should continue to strive for them. But you look at one case study, the Greater Good Science Center, which is based in the University of California, Berkeley, and they are pioneering purpose learning. What is purpose learning? In these very difficult times, people actually are questioning what it's all worth. What is the purpose? Once people have lost their jobs, once people have suddenly realized that their jobs are actually not that important, or that they're instantly replaceable, what is what are they here for? And so one of the things in which educators need to really talk about is the spiritual dimension of purpose seeking, of meaning making. And it's too often neglected in our high schools onwards. I think once people get into high school, once kids get into high school, they're basically asked to choose a role or choose their specializations, and they start to go narrower and narrower. As you know, at university, you're basically setting yourself on a specific path to go on through life and to try and make a career out of it. And that's really been disrupted over this period of time, just since January. And now I think people need to have a very serious rethink about purpose, meaning making. What is it? What is their broader purpose on this earth, on this planet? And then, of course, people can incorporate the traditional modes of education into a new way of thinking. But it's going to be a hybrid. It's going to be a combination of traditional modes of education and that which we haven't seen before, or at least we haven't seen before prioritized by the educational authorities. And it will need to be, because we're all stuck at home, and we're all stuck, unable to live life like we used to prior to 2020. I think it is very disingenuous to pretend that these are ordinary times and that we can just go back to the way things were once the pandemic is open. Once the pandemic is over, certain things will reopen. Certain aspects of life will revert to normal. But the question is, do you want to go back to the way things were? Aren't we just setting ourselves up for another sort of very disruptive and traumatic period, especially for our kids, especially for our students? So my own very small message for everyone listening today. I wish you all the very best, and I hope that in time, educators and authorities can bring about a new vision of education that incorporates meaning, not even spiritual, but just overall meaning and purpose seeking into their respective curriculums, and it doesn't matter which country it is, because that is what I find of the utmost importance. If we're going to come out of this pandemic better prepared for the next time a global crisis hits. So with that, I conclude my thoughts, and thank you very much for having me today.
Okay, thank you so much, Brother Raymond Lam from Hong Kong. You have given perspective how to handle and also cope up with the pandemic, and also post-pandemic, how things should be and how to prepare. Okay, now we have our sister Lo Pai Lin Ji from Malaysia. Kindly take over the stage and give your presentations.
Thank you. May I share my screen? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you have to be a little louder. I see.
Yeah, I'll go back to here.
Your mic, ma'am, you got to keep it near. Yeah.
Yeah, can you?
Yes.
But I couldn't. Okay. I go back to the first one. Oh, sorry. I have to go to the. Sorry, let me. Somehow, I need to go to the first one. This is my last one. Okay, I got it. Okay, may I start now?
Yeah, sister, your mic, your mic, just next to you. Yes.
Okay, can you hear me now, huh? Okay.
Yeah, keep it this way only. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Suki Hoto, and a very good day to respected Venerable Dr. Dhammapiya. Congratulations for leading this initiative of a meaningful series of web banner during this Vasa period. I also wish Venerable an auspicious and fruitful Vasa 2020.
Thank you, sister.
Yeah. Dear Dr. Gulshan, rejoice with your meritorious efforts for your kind hosting of this 122nd web banner from ICSI. And dear sister Dr. Christine Chang, I know she's in. I'm grateful to you, sister, for your kind coordination for me to be one of the panelists this morning. Thank you. And dear all panelists, thank you for your kind sharing. And I'm honored and pleasure to be with you in this privileged platform. And dear all viewers, peace greeting from Malaysia. I'm from Buddhist Missionary Society Malaysia, which is founded by the late Venerable Dr. K. Sri Dhammananda Naga Mahathera in 1962. We are born in Buddhist Mahavihara, which is 135 years old temple. BMSM with the principle to propagate the Dharma in Malaysia, as the name of the society so implied, with the guiding motto of purity, service, purity, and wisdom, resembling in correspondence to Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. We have 8 branches and 4 sections at the moment. As you know, Malaysia is a country with multicultural, multi-ethnic, multi-religious groups. I rejoice to share that due to the 54 years exemplary services of our founder, fondly known as the late chief, they go beyond Buddhism. In Malaysia, besides propagating the Dharma, the late chief was very active in interfaith engagements. He was one of the founders of Malaysian Consultative Council of Buddhism, Hinduism, Christianity, Sikhism, Taoism. it is through his active involvement in interfaith that enabled BMSM to evolve into a key organization in fostering interreligious harmony, thereby contributing significantly to the building and maintaining national unity and integration in Malaysia. What is there in the Buddhism that guided and enabled late chief as a Buddhist monk to serve so well for 54 years in a pluralistic or diversified society like Malaysia, predominantly with Muslim as compared to his home country, Sri Lanka, a Buddhist country? It is actually the very first principle that the Lord Buddha based or realized to gain enlightenment more than 2,500 years ago. So you know what it is. Yes, this is the middle way. The teaching of the middle way was mentioned by the Lord Buddha in this very first sermon in the Deer Park at Isipatana near Varanasi in the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, i.e. setting in motion the wheel of truth, and in Majjhima Patipatta. I would like to share with you the following 3 experiences in Malaysia to demonstrate that the middle path, which embraced the Noble Eightfold Path that was being practiced by late chief and his students, which can be applied not only to educations, but also to every other aspect of living as well. Most beautifully, it is still relevant in today's educations. Such education can be both formal and informal through school, colleges, university for the formal, and through community and society, including the places of worship like Nalanda Institute that shared by Brother Tan Xiang Chai earlier, and all the Sunday Dharma school for the later. Okay. Okay, next. Okay. BMSM, the Buddhist Missionary Society in Malaysia, was invited to sit in the committee in the formulation of our national principles, Rukun Negara, in 1970, as representative of Buddhist communities. Our late brother Tay Ten Chu, the then president of BMSM, represent us there. Naturally, late chief, being the spiritual director of BMSN, will be duly consulted prior to the acceptance and commitment of any principle proposed, especially on the first principle, the belief in God. Subsequently, many questioned and did not understand why our late chief agreed with this principle, that is belief in God. Isn't it Buddhism a non-theocentric religion? It is a homocentric religion. But late chief has skillfully explained that the concept of God is based on our understanding capacity and the maturity of the mind. I quote, late chief said in one of his recorded Dharma talks, who say Buddhists do not believe in God? We are, save that the concept of God in Buddhism is not one and the same as our other religions. And there is no conflict for Buddhists to accept the first principle, belief in God. Buddhists can cooperate with those who hold concept of God for peace, happiness, and welfare of mankind. The consultations session proceeded smoothly and harmoniously, and there's no dispute from the Buddhists. This year, Malaysia is celebrating the 50th anniversary of Rukun Negara as shown in the slides. The next slides show that it was launched by the Prime Minister together with 2 other ministers from Ministry of Unity and Ministry of Communications and Multimedia. Further reading on concept of God in Buddhism can be found in the chapters of 13 of what Buddhists believe. This book actually written by our late chief. This is the bestseller out of the more than 70 publications, both book or booklet, written by late chief. And it has been translated into 16 languages and printed for free distributions. The second sharing. In Malaysia, to mainstream this moderation value, the middle way, in everyday life, and especially when dealing with religious issues and matters in Malaysia, the Cabinet of Malaysia appointed a special committee for promoting interreligious understanding and harmony among adherents. In 2010, it is an advisory committee to the government. The aim of this committee is to promote the understanding and strengthen the relationship among the followers of various religions harmoniously with many other through a moderate approach. I'm one of them by virtue that I'm the president of Buddhist Missionary Society Malaysia since 2013. This slide shows that the photo of National Interfaith Committee for 2016 and 17 taken with the Prime Minister then after appointment by the Prime Minister. There are several working committee in this National Interfaith Committee. And the most challenging one is the Working Committee on Issues, dealing with issues pertaining to conversion, body snatching, guidelines on non-Muslim places of worship, lists of words prohibited of use by the non-Muslim. On top of all these issues, the most disputable issue concerning interfaith is conversion from one religion to another religion, particularly from other religion to Islam, which involve the conversion of minors, children below 18. This version, if the conversion of minor is without the consent of the unconverted spouse, who is non-Muslim, if the dispute for whatever reason cannot be resolved out of court but through the legal system, then complications set in, as there are two separate court systems which exist in Malaysian legal system. There is the common law court and the Sharia law court. There are issues that the marriage of the non-Muslim couple originally registered under the common law now have to go to the Sharia court for settlement because one of the spouse had converted to Muslim, and the non-Muslim spouse cannot be represented by non-Muslim legal personnel at the Sharia court, etc. Sound very complicated, right? But the late chief in several occasions shared this with calmness and with wisdom, that he never converted anyone in his 54 years of Dhammapiya services or Buddhist missionary services in Malaysia and Singapore. He only worked diligently and untiringly to transform Buddhists to a better Buddhist, and also transform non-Buddhists to a better non-Buddhist of their own religions. So there is no conversion, only transformations. So there is no issue insofar as Buddhist concern, no complications. So how beautiful. Hence, middle way is one of the most important teachings in Buddhism that help her followers to recognize, respect, and accept plurality or diversity in our society, in Malaysia, and the world at large. That is to raise above the two extremes of fundamentalism and universalism. The fundamentalist, who is of the aggressive view that one belief, religion, culture, etc., is above all others, and the universalist is of the liberal view that all beliefs, religions, culture, etc., are one of the same. Polarity here simply means there is more than one culture, one civilization, one race, and one religion, and so on. In Buddhism itself, there also already exists polarity or diversity of different schools of Buddhism, namely Mahayana, Theravada, and Vajrayana. We call them MTV. But there is harmonious and peaceful coexistence among all the three traditions. MTV and unity in diversity is possible because we share the same core teaching of the Lord Buddha on this doctrine of middle way and the Four Noble Truths that embraces the Noble Eightfold Path. The last sharing that I would like to share with you is the interfaith engagement through dialogue, roundtable discussion, forum, and any other form of discussion. Through this engagement and followed by understanding of the shared value from each other perspective for common good, for example, for peace, harmony, and stability, as well as national unity and integrations. As a result of this dialogue, there is acceptance in place of tolerance through understanding. In Malaysia, there is a famous saying in Bahasa Malaysia, tak kenal tak cinta. Meaning, if we don't know each other, we will not fall in love with each other. Therefore, I'm a strong champion for interfaith dialogue. It is important that we meet physically and now through Zooms. Then only we have chance to get to know each other and to fall in love with each other. Only when all our neighbors are good, then only we will be good. Middle way in Buddhism is a shared value. The concept and value of middle way is common and found in major civilization and religions. It is one of the common value and frequently discussed and shared among the religious leaders of the different religions work together for peace, harmony, and welfare of all humans. The slide shown here is an interfaith dialogue entitled Moderations, the Key to Peace and Harmony, where I am one of the panelists in 2015. As mentioned earlier, the middle way is the very basic. The Lord Buddha gained enlightenment more than 2,500 years ago. And at about the same time, 2,500 years ago, far, far away from China, from both India and Malaysia and US, but not Hong Kong, you are just neighbor, yeah? Zhongyong or moderation, which is another notion of middle way, already in existence and being practiced as a virtuous quality to be developed within oneself, be individual, community, or organization, or even a country as a whole. Zhongyu or moderation refers to the ethical standards propounded by Confucians. And in Islam, there exists this concept of wasatiyah, which means moderation in Arabic, which is also important guide value to the adherents of Islam. Obviously and truly, the doctrine of value or middle way, Songyong or doctrine of means, moderation and vasatya is time-proof and is still highly relevant in today's society to bring people together in peace and harmony, irrespective of caste, color, and greed. This is especially relevant to Malaysia, a multi-ethnic, multicultural, and multi-religious nations. And this very value of middle way, as expounded by the Lord Buddha, is still relevant to be embedded in the education system, be in the formal education system or through the informal education system. And it's applicable to all, including the youth. And I'd like to conclude. All religious leaders holding such value of middle way, Zhongyong or doctrine of means, moderation and vasatya of all different faiths in Malaysia and the world at large should join hands to consolidate our effort to eradicate all the controversial and discriminatory in our teaching and do our utmost to introduce spiritual values which are common in our respective religion for the good and well-being of all mankind, irrespective race and religion. Let all of us unite to introduce the moderate way of life amongst their followers and advise them not to go to the extremes and incorporate this value in the education system. Again, can be formal and informal for the benefit of all age, especially the youth. Lastly, I would like to, finally, I hope you allow me to end my sharing by paying homage to the Dhamma and dedicate all the merits accrued from today's sharing to our founder, the late chief, and our general advisor, Bante Mahinda. Tomorrow is the 15th memorial anniversary of our late chief. And also in conjunction with the celebration of our Malaysian National Day on the 31st of August. So we both, Sasana, Biwadi Vandana Society and the Buddhist Missionary Society Malaysia has jointly organized this in Buddhist Mahavihara for the past 55 years for a blessed, happy and prosperous Malaysian, and also for world peace, harmony and stability. May all be well and happy. With the permission of Venerable, may I chant Dhamma, may I perform this Dhamma Vandana?
Yes.
Thank you. Swakato Akawata Dhammo Santi Tiko Akaliko Ehipasiko Opanyayiko Panchantang Vetitapo Vinyuhiti. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, our Upasika sister Lopai Ling Ji, for your beautiful presentation. Though you had to hold your mic all the time like this, I was thinking whether you can keep holding it for a long time, but you managed it. It's very important. Yeah.
Thank you. I need to change this. Thank you.
All right. Yeah. So this, those who do not know about the Reverend Kesri, Dr. Kesri Dhammananda, just to tell you all, he had been one of the very important and influential Buddhist scholarly monk who has written many books on different aspects of Buddha's teaching in response to the different needs of society of the day. It was not only talking about this heaven, hell, and other kind of things, but the fear, the stress, depression, the technology, modern life. The Venerable has covered all aspects of modern way of life or experiences. That's why there are many books that he has written. Really, it's very important that she has pointed out, which is very important for every one of us to incorporate into our life in order to be away from the extremism, or to have a relaxed and peaceful, balanced life. Majjhima Patipada, or the middle path approach or way, is the balancing of life. Like Dr. Gulshan ji, you are also conducting this webinar the other day, almost I think 12 hours at a stretch. So I was remembering that day, I should tell you that to maintain the Majjhima Patipada, middle path. I mean, balancing of our everything, I mean, what we do. It's very important, the Majjhima Patipada. So she was talking about two things, fundamentalism and universalism. So fundamentalism definitely, which is a form of extremism. Anything extreme is definitely harmful. So whatever it may be. The air, the wind that gives us oxygen, and if the wind is so strong, I think it is destructive, right? Or the medicine, which is supposed to cure us, if we take in a very large quantity, it will destroy, kill us. So anything extreme is negative and destructive. That is why It's important that we follow the middle path in all areas of our life. Thank you so much, Sister Upasika Lo Pai Lingji. Now, if there is any QA or anything, Dr. Sharma, please over to you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I just wish to share something very important over here, because this we were sharing at that point of time with everybody, but I just wish to share that anybody from anywhere from world over, because today from Maharashtra, you will be so happy to know I have got 90 additional people from Maharashtra. And this particular, I don't know whether it is a particular segment. It is PADGHAN, Padgan, PADGHAN. There are more than 90. Yeah, PADGHAN.
Acha.
So from this particular community of Buddhism, 90 people have joined on the Facebook, and about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 have joined in the webinar also directly. Now, ladies and gentlemen, world over, first of all, my deep gratitude and thanks to all the dignitaries this morning. I wish to share this slide with all of you. Dhammapiya ji, we can see this slide?
Yes, please.
Okay. I want to share with everybody, we started this process one year back from the ICSI, International Chamber for Service Industry, India's first Buddhist pilgrimage facilitation executive training program. We don't want to call it a tourism. We want to call it a pilgrimage facilitation. We have not charged any money. We have not taken anything from anybody. 30 boys and girls, 31st of October, they are finishing their program of the 1 year, and they would be ready to help all the dignitaries, all the pilgrims, those will come to India to visit various sites of Buddhism and various places for your transportation, for your food part, for your health part, for your living part, and whatever assistance you need. The only one thing which is missing, I have not put the foreign language in this because I was just trying either the Japanese or the Korean or Sri Lankan or some other language what is to be done and all. Foreign language we have not taken. There the Google Baba will help me, because the Google will give me some kind of a notes and all. But otherwise, these boys and girls, they come from the Buddhist community. They come from the Buddhist families, and you will be happy to know that 18 boys and girls, they are from Himachal Pradesh, they are from McLeodganj, they are from Dharamshala and other places, and 12 kids are from the northeast part of India, with a majority of them from Tawang. And I'm proud that this morning, our most respectable Chief Minister of Arunachal Pradesh, Pema Khanduji, is watching this particular program. I'm grateful to him. He's watching this program on Facebook. So thank you very much. And this particular program, I wish to share, you have got a Tawang festival which takes place over there. And we are getting these boys and girls ready. And those are getting trained from our chamber purely on a complimentary basis. And Kiran Rijijuji also, because sports and youth play very important role. So in the coming times, in any country, in any continent, at any place, if anybody needs any support for this particular program, we have got the contents ready, we have got the modules ready, and we can impart and we can beam it out from here to your country as well. Now, after this, with the permission of Dhammapiya ji, there are two questions for my friend from Hong Kong, because people have sent me two questions. Is he there? Is he there? Because I've got.
He should be there.
I don't see him. No, he's not there. Otherwise, there are two questions for him which are coming from different parts. Anyway, maybe I'll take on later on. I'll send an email to him. People had asked two questions. One was that research which he was mentioning. So people on the Facebook chat parties, they have asked me, what exactly is that research related to education? People have asked me. And the second part, people asked me when he talked about new vision of education. So what exactly did he mean by that? Where he talked about the hybrid, the traditional and the present education to be blended together, but what exactly he wanted to convey. So maybe I will take it up with him. So I convey on behalf of our chamber my deep gratitude and thanks to Nadia ji on the Maslow's hierarchy of the needs. I hope people should be having less greed and less need, and all the way they should go. I eat only one times during this COVID-19, and I'm so happy. I'm so young. I'm feeling so energetic at the age of 70, only because I'm taking less food. And Madam, 31st of August, you mentioned, Lopai ma'am mentioned about Malaysia. So well in advance, our deep congratulations and good days and everything, because Malaysia is going to have its celebration on 31st of August, what you made a mention. And
Yes,
today,
thank you.
today is a very important day in India. Today is 29th of August, 29th of July. After 34 years, India saw the new education policy. So 1 year has got completed. And 1 month has got completed. Look, I'm talking about 1 year. 1 month has got completed. And this evening, I'm having 200,000 non-resident Indian from 149 countries joining me, and we are going to have a live program this evening at 7 p.m. and that is going to be 1 month celebration of new education policy of India, where the children are going to learn the coding right from the 6th standard. They are going to have vocational, they're going to have internship, they're going to have creative thinking, they're going to have collaborative thinking. And of course, I won't say further because Venerable Dhammapiya ji told excess of everything is bad. So I won't tell more than that. So let's get back to, and I hand you over into the very safe hands of Venerable Dhammapiya. And Dr. Christie, I promise you, I make a commitment to you. It's all up to Venerable Dhammapiya ji. But till my last breath, till I live on this planet, every Saturday morning will be dedicated to Lord Buddha from my side till my last breath on this planet. Till the time I'm here, because I want to be a very humble student, get more and more people, get more and more. And the other day, Dhammapiya ji, when she got one boy and a girl from school or college, that was fantastic from Taiwan. That was a very good experience which we shared. And I got so many responses on my chat box, on my Facebook. So we are looking forward to Dr. Christy Chan, more and more people. So with these words, happy day, happy afternoon, happy evening, and happy world, happy global family, and prayers by Venerable Dr. Dhammapiya ji.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Gulshan ji. The global Buddhist community are very much thankful to ICSI, especially to you, Director General of ICSI, for providing us this platform and also time slot to share our experiences and views on the teachings of the Buddha with the global human community for the welfare and benefit of all. I understand every Saturday we are coming and discussing on different aspects of the teachings of the Buddha, the services being rendered by different people at different part of the world. Maybe we can also keep, but we'll find out, like as our Professor Dr. Satendra Dimanji is doing on a specific book like Bhagavad Gita or maybe some other aspects of the Indian tradition or Indian text. So like that, we also have in the Tipitaka. Pitaka means actually baskets or the volume, whatever you call this. So T means 3. The Buddhist scriptural text, like we have Bible, Holy Bible, or Holy Quran, or Holy Bhagavad Gita, whatever we call that, is Vedas, right? The teachings of the Buddha, it's preserved in this Tipitaka, that is scriptural text. T means 3, Pitaka means in the 3 baskets. Our Upasika Nadia also has shown that Tipitaka having this Vinaya, the Sutta, Abhidhamma, like that. So Vinaya is the aspects of the teachings of the Buddha which deals with the rules, regulations, disciplines of monks, nuns, lay people, weaver. I mean, that is the disciplinary aspect of Vinaya, one Pitaka. The second is the Sutta Pitaka. Sutta means whatever discourses, the teachings Buddha have given directly or indirectly to man and when man means to human and non-human, they are preserved in this Sutta Pitaka. It is compiled because Buddha has not written anything, only it was passed on to his disciples, and Venerable Ananda has preserved it later on in the Buddhist Council of the enlightened monks. They have compiled all these things. So it is Sutta Pitaka. And the third is Abhidhamma Pitaka, like we have. So there, Dhammapada is a very, very important, important book, Dhammapada. So maybe the Dhammapada having probably 420 verses or something like that. So this every verse is really very, very important, having some background, historical background, or some story background, having some moral teaching behind that. So maybe this also a very important thing somebody can take up. Like out of 2 or 3 speakers, one can take up either Dhammapada, every day 1 or 2 slokas and explain something relevant to the present situation, present life, like that. Or there is also another aspect, another book called the Questions of King Milinda. The King Milinda and Nagasena, how they have had this question answer session. It's really very interesting. I mean, on different aspects of life, So these questions and answers of King Milinda and Venerable Nagasena, I understand this is also an important thing. If there are people interested, somebody can take up these things and have discussion. Like so one can be Nagasena, one can be King Milinda, the questioning, and then we can extract the essence from their conversation and try to look in the light of our present scenario, present situation. It's also important, I understand. Thank you so much, everyone. And let us have now a closing prayer. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa bhavatu sabba mangalang rakhantu sabba devata sabba buddha nubhavena sada sukhi bhavantu te bhavatu sabba mangalang rakhantu sabba devata sabba dhamma nubhavena sada sukhi bhavantu te bhavatu sabba mangalang rakhantu sabba devata sabba sangha nubhavena sada sukhi bhavantu te. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. May all beings be happy and peaceful.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Venerable, and thank you, Dr. Gulshan.
Thank
See
you
you,
all.
Mr. Nadia, and welcome to Malaysia next year, if condition is okay. The 17th Sekatita International Buddhist Women Conference will be held in Malaysia, in East Malaysia, Kuching. And I hope that Venerable and also Dr. Gulshan can join us as well.
Thank
Mr.
you. Thank
Christine
you.
is the chair. I think she has shared that during her last sharing. Thank you. Hope to see you.
Thank you.
Everyone, thank you very
Bye.
much. Bye.